Abusua komo ewo chani so. I say AGH Politics Avenue. Podcast or trend ya because making headlines. And ya jembre na edibi exomo. Ni dim ya hobraxie mu. Best say yanko political highways ni ejedem a enye asem koto akra. Ken Ofori Atta no lawyer John Ashkoff and I no kasei eye wa land into big trouble. Na Black Rasta ajemre abra oboyin chemu na best say yemu ransim nim. Na yenhwe ne yeko ene de eba AGH Politics Avenue.
Ken Ofori Atta's big American lawyer John Ashkoff in big trouble. Now, remember where you heard it first. John David Ashkoff, we told you and we broke the news here that he was Ken Ofori Atta's American lawyer. We told you that before the Attorney General came to tell you. Okay? Now, we also put on record that this was a former Attorney General from 2001 to 2005. And he's not an ordinary man. He's a singer in the Assemblies of God Church. At the same time, this man here is also a former MP. In America, they call them senators. This man here, my brother, my sister, is also a very interesting guy. He's a university professor of law. And they have established a certain scholarship using his name. They love him and respect him in America. This is the guy. This was the guy who was approached by Ken Ofori Atta after Ken Ofori Atta got wind of the fact that this man was working with the Attorney General of Ghana to have him extradited. Ethically, a lawyer is not supposed to jump ships like that. If I am a lawyer for Kwamina and Kwamina is in a case with Mansa, so Kwamina versus Mansa, I am in the camp of Kwamina. Under no circumstances should I ever be seen to be in the camp of Mansa. Ethically in law, you don't do that. Because it is assumed that you have heard a lot from Kwamina and you can use that information for the benefit of Mansa, the adversary. But this is what this guy has done to us. He was working with the Attorney General to have Ken Ofori Atta brought back to Ghana in extradition. Long before that, the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Akuritinga Ayine, had told him, hey, there's this guy there called Ken Ofori Atta. I am investigating him. I've realized there's some offshore issues. In fact, he has his dirty fingers in there. And he gave information to this man, a lot of information. And John David Ashkoff was helping to bring down Ken Ofori Atta because he's a former Attorney General and a professor of law. So he knows the ins and outs of American law. And Dominic Akuritinga Ayine believed in him. My brother, when Ken Ofori Atta heard this, and the extradition docket was sent to the American people, Ken quickly went to see this guy and told him, you know what? I know that you are working with my people in Ghana to bring me down. Name your price, I will pay you. He mentioned it. Bam, 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 bam. Big money. He churned out the money, doled it out, spread it on the table like a mat. And he got very, very greedy and accepted it. Right now, their conversations changed. Instead of calling Dominic Akuritinga Ayine and saying that, you know what? This your man. Let's go here, let's go here. We will get him extradited. He started to speak a different language. What did he say? He said, hey, you know what? Are you sure that the extradition, when he comes home, he will have a fair trial, he will have a safe passage? He said, of course, you know that. But when he went back to Kennedy, I beg your pardon, Ken Ofori and told him, Charlie, go to Ghana. He said, no, I didn't pay you to send me back to Ghana. I want to remain here. Why are you talking about me going to Ghana? Make sure that I remain here. I've paid. Or you want more money? So now, this guy here called John David Ashcroft went back to the Attorney General of Ghana and told him that, you know what? Let me be frank with you. I am now in the camp of Ken Ofori. And Akrutinga Ayini put his hand on his head. Ethically, this is not supposed to be done. The last time I checked, the Attorney General was sitting in meetings to see how this man here can be sued for conflict of interest in one way or the other. But the Attorney General doesn't seem to be interested in that suit. But it gave him another option to be able to get to the Americans and get Ken come home through a revocation of his visa. We have given you all the information. What is new today? Come here. Now, John David Ashcroft handpicked another lawyer by name Inayat Kasimi. Full name Inayatullah Kasimi. This guy, he's a specialist extradition lawyer. His specialty, listen, is in extradition. And he only works for top-notch VVIP people around the world. Now, once you are arrested by ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement of America, 98% of the time, you are going home. But this man is a specialist when it comes to extradition. So he's known and renowned all over America. Now this man here called Inayat Kasimi, he was born and bred in Afghanistan. And listen to this, it's very important. He was handpicked by John David Ashcroft, knowing his pedigree. He says, I have a top-notch client. I want you to help him. Make sure that he remains here. And most of the time, this guy never fails. Inayat Kasimi. He was born in Afghanistan. In 2004, the president of Afghanistan decided to make him the Minister of Transport and Aviation. Transport and Aviation. At the time, he was only 26 years. Can I just go back a bit? This man has 2 dates of birth. Like that guy in Kumasi. Reverend Kusi Boateng. 2 different dates of birth. 1979. And then later, 1969. 10 years. What a man. What happened? In 2004, he was supposed to be the Transport and Aviation Minister. But the laws of the country said, you cannot be a minister if you are less than 35 years. But the country still wanted him to be a minister because he was sharp. He went to school in America, so sharp. So his age was forced and changed from the 79 birth to 1969, 10 years interval. Like Abedi Pele was going to play for the Black Stars and his age was so low, they had to increase it by 2 years or so he could play for the Black Stars. That was what happened to this guy. Initially born in 1979, all of a sudden, because of politics and office, 69 born. And when he went in there, controversies. After his tenure of office in 2006, 5 years later, in 2011, another government came into power and held him. He had allegedly stolen $9 million American from the people of Afghanistan. In fact, he had gone into a certain deal that was supposed to procure 4 aircrafts for the Afghan nation. Do you understand? And the 4 aircrafts, he had chobo, what we call in Ghana chobo, kickback, $9 million American dollars. But he was behind bars for only 3 days. The new leader quickly brought him out and cancelled all the charges and said that they were baseless. From that time, he found himself in America again, practicing his law, top-class lawyer. This man here is a controversial lawyer. The Afghan people still think that he's a criminal who ran away with their $9 million American dollars. A lot of them believe that it was politically stirred up. My brother, my sister, these are the 2 big names around Ken Ofori Atta. But interestingly, Victor Smith has spoken. Who is Victor Smith? He spoke with Joy FM. And he told Joy FM that he went all the way to the Caroline Detention Center. And remember yesterday we told you this. To speak with Ken Ofori Atta. And Ken refused that he doesn't need any help from Ghana. All Ghanaians should leave him in peace and go away. Now, and remember we told you this before it broke. The FBI is involved in the case of Ken Ofori Atta. 5 different agents and institutions. 5 in America. And we gave you all the info. Now the interesting thing is, if it was all about immigration, ICE would have been the only outfit interested in that. But once FBI has its hand there, as told to us by Victor Smith, the Ghana ambassador to America, there is no way Ken is going to stay there. He will come home. Can I tell you more? Why is the FBI interested in Ken? Yesterday we gave you a gist. Can we go deeper today? My brother, my sister, the Attorney General told us point blank that he is investigating Ken Ofori Atta in one aspect, not the SML. And what is the aspect? Offshore. Do you know what it means to say offshore? Do you know the intricacies of offshore crimes? What are offshore crimes? What is the Attorney General investigating specifically in this Ken Ofori Atta offshore crime? Run the dossier. Watch this. Offshore crimes involve illegal activities using maritime routes or offshore financial centers, including piracy, smuggling, human and drug trafficking, and illegal fishing, often linked to transnational organized crime for money laundering, tax evasion. Hallelujah. Ken Ofori Atta made a lot of money using his data bank. All the money that came into the country, he had a cut. Did he launder the money? What other dealings was he involved in that had to do with offshore crimes? NPP set to retaliate NDC arrests. And this is a guy called Justin Kodua. Do you know him? Ah, it looks like I know this guy. Is that not the guy whose prophet is Reverend Kusi Boateng? That's him, right? MC, I show by and see if that's him. Okay. Thank you. So it's a confirmation. This was the guy Reverend Kusi Boateng prophesied to and told him that his party would win. And that on the day of elections, there would be some kind of confusion. People would come out on the street and demonstrate for the first day. But on the second day, everybody would forget and victory would be for. And the reason he gave was the most ridiculous. He said the victory was because of this guy. That because you are here, the house of grace, because of you, your party is going to win. After the prophecy, find me the photograph of Reverend Victor Kusi Boateng, okay? So people will know who I'm talking about. He was my senior at Tia Modern Secondary School, Kumasi. He's a fine prophet. Prophesied in the past, everything came to pass. But he got swallowed by greed and politics. That's what happens when a gentleman decides to become politicized. This is Justin Kodua. After the prophecy, Justin Kodua himself knew that his party had performed so abysmally, so terribly, that breaking the eight was only a fantastic fantasy, a thunderbolt coming from the middle of the ocean. Eish! This is Victor Kusi Boateng, Prophet Victor Kusi Boateng. He's a rich dude, but greed. My brother, my sister, made him fall from grace, boom, to the ground. Now he's struggling to patch up. The arrogance with which he even prophesied. You will win. And after the elections, the boys will be separated from the men. Hey! Yabotreo. Ade. Entahwa. Hey! After the prophecy, Justin Kodua himself ran to him and said, Papa, that's how they call him. He knelt down and said, Papa, I'm begging you. If it was a political prophecy you gave, tell me the truth now. Are we truly going to win? Don't prophesy because of me. Are we winning? He said, get up and go. It's not about you are winning. You have won. Can't you see it? Can't you see it in the atmosphere? Moses is standing there. Can't you see Abraham? Elijah is laughing at you. He turned around. He couldn't see Moses. Look, no Elijah. Look, no Abraham. Papa, are you really seeing Abraham? Ah! Fioko. We didn't pray. On a more serious note, my brother, this guy believed that his party would win because Victor Kusi Boateng always got it right. He didn't know that greed had swallowed his boss. He didn't know that politics had swallowed his boss. Because of his boss's greedy behavior, they collapsed the so-called National Cathedral. He was their secretary, right? The prophets who were all around them all scattered. Duncan Williams packed his bag and baggage from the National Cathedral and ran broad daylight. People.
We and some who because watching on the so. My man was so jam read as so bad and be a remaining. Onia, ever sang asmo.